Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be me sharing my top 10 favorite fragrances of all time, my current absolute favorite fragrances for every occasion. I'll be sharing all of these wonderful, glorious smelling scents with you. So if you're interested in my current top 10 perfumes, then let's get started. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background and context to these 10 fragrances, I am a fragrance eater. Fragrance just gets sucked into my skin, never to be seen again. So I do really favor super beast mode fragrances. I really need my fragrances to be strong, potent, and amazingly performing, because otherwise you're just not going to smell them on me. They're going to disappear into my skin. I'm not going to be able to smell them on myself for like more than an hour. So yeah, all of these fragrances have amazing performance. That doesn't necessarily mean they're like room filling beast mode projection, but they do all wear incredibly well and they do all have good projection, strong, potent projection, and at least that really good 6 to 8 hours of longevity, if not like days, months, weeks on your clothes kind of longevity. Otherwise, I just will not smell hide or hair of it. Aside from that, my kind of style of fragrance, I love tobacco-y scents, I love ambers, I love woodsy scents, I love warm, spicy fragrances. That's typically where my preferences sit. So hopefully that just kind of gives you a bit of an idea about the fragrances that I love. There are, having said that, some in here that wouldn't necessarily fit into those boxes, but they kind of stand out for one reason or another to me, enough that although they might not be my standard typical go-to type of fragrances, they are still absolute loves because they offer me something along those lines, maybe in a slightly different way. So first up, this is Kilian's Can't Stop Loving You. And this is a flanker to the Killian Love Don't Be Shy. Now I have owned like a lot of Love fragrances over the years. I had the original Love, Love Extreme, 2 of the special blends. I have Eau Fresh currently, that was one of my latest buys, and then this Can't Stop Loving You. And this is my favorite out of all of those Love fragrances, those Love flankers. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. This is like my go-to romantic fragrance. If I'm on date night, if I just want to smell ridiculously beautiful, if I was to recommend a wedding fragrance, this would be up there on the list. It's just beautifully romantic. It is one of the sweetest fragrances I own, but what I love about this one versus some of the other Love iterations is that it has incredible performance, sillage, longevity, off the scale, can smell it all day, a real compliment bomb, with the edge just taken off of the sickly sweetness. It's just slightly less sweet than the original Love and some of the others, but it still maintains that real body to the performance and that real syrupy, beautiful scent, but it is just slightly less sickly and cloying on the skin, like slightly more wearable in warmer weather in the daytime. It's just so beautiful. I feel like it's a sort of grown up version of Love, and when I want to smell like girly and feminine and gorgeous and have everybody fall in love with me, this is the one that I recommend. And next up we have Decas from Xerjoff. This is a much more typically me type of fragrance. You know, it is a tobacco-y scent. It's more sort of warm, spicy leaning. It's got a resiny, vanilla-y, musky base. Oh my goodness, this is kind of my go-to summer scent, because although it is a warm, spicy, tobacco-y, musky fragrance, it's got a lot of body and it's got a lot of warmth. It manages to do it in a sort of summer, warm weather, daytime friendly way. It's just a little bit lighter and it has amazing performance, longevity, days. But it's not room filling, so it's not so cloying or overpowering. If you're like in a summer's day and you're in an office, it's not going to drown everybody and have everybody coughing and unable to breathe. It's a more, you know, there's a little circumference, a little bubble a scent bubble, a scent trail around you. Other people will get a waft of it, but like not so that they can't breathe, you know? So a little more summer friendly, but it still kind of ticks all my boxes and tickles my pickle, and it's my kind of fragrance, but I can wear it year round. It's just so beautiful, very smooth, incredible quality from Xerjoff as always. A little lighter because it's got those, you know, it's got a mandarin note in there, which just, and a tuberose in the top, which kind of just takes the edge off the tobacco at the top as well. It's just a light summer daytime friendly version of a tobacco scent. Stunning. Next we have Armani Prive's Magenta Tanzanite. Will you look at that bottle? No prizes for bottles today, but if there was one, this one would be top 3 for sure. This is another sort of warm spicy that you can get away with in the daytime and in the warmer months. Oh, she's beautiful. It's got some sweetness in here. I've told you guys before, this is a really special scent for me because my children love it on me. And I feel like there's just something about this that says mother to me. I don't know why. You know, some of the notes in here, I think it's the baking quality of it. It's got cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, coffee, tobacco and vanilla in the base. It's got so much sweetness, and I feel like it's kind of hard to pick out necessarily any of those notes alone. It's got such a beautiful blend to it, and it's just light and fresh enough. There's something just really inviting and cozy and comforting about this scent with just a little hint of freshness. I think it's those notes, they all, you know, it's like the mum fragrance, but like cool mum, you know, not just any mum, a cool mum. Smells of love to me, and I don't know if it's my children that have kind of gaslighted me into believing that this smells like a mother's love, because they tell me whenever I wear this, oh, that's your scent, mummy, we love that one. And that's just made me fall in love even more with the fragrance, but I get it, you know, I get what's going on here. Next up we have Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Wow, I mean, this is the most iconic fragrance. Obviously this has been done to death as far as people talking about this fragrance and how much they love it, and I don't care. I don't care that it's a cliche. I don't care that it's overdone. This is one of my favorite, if not potentially my favorite fragrances ever. It's just so perfect. It's so versatile. The performance is stunning. It's without doubt the most complimented fragrance I've ever owned. Whenever I wear this, multiple people will be asking me, what fragrance are you wearing? Like I've literally had people follow me around a shop to ask me what perfume I've had on when I'm wearing this. And that's only ever happened with this fragrance. And it's also happened actually with Kilian's Can't Stop Loving You. Both of those have attracted people like chasing me down the street to ask me what perfume I'm wearing. It's so special and unique. There's just something that really stands out to me. Although it's a warm spicy, it's got a little bit of freshness about it. It has that airy quality. It is one that smells different on everybody, and it won't work for everybody. For some people it smells like a hospital, or like it leans too strongly down that crazy sort of synthetic road. On me, it just smells incredible and I absolutely love it. The performance is out of this world. Everybody around you will get a whiff of it, a waft of it as you walk past, and that shows in how many compliments and comments you will attract. But it's also the longevity is amazing. You can see I'm like almost out. That's how much I use this. This is my kind of, I don't know what to wear today, go-to fragrance, because I know you can't go wrong. It works in every arena, every day, every season, every time of day, every occasion. It's like my go-to. I don't know what to wear. I'm just going to whack this on because I know it's never going to let me down or not work. It's just so beautiful and versatile. And much like Can't Stop Loving You, this would be my #1 recommendation to a bride. It's the ultimate wedding fragrance. Next up, we have Soleil de Jeddah Mango Kiss from Stephane Humbert Lucas. Absolutely stunning bottle. I mean, my goodness, it's glorious, isn't it? This is one of my newest fragrances and my newest entry into this top 10. I just fell in love with it. There's something very different about this fragrance. It's definitely different to a lot of my fragrances. You know, I like boozy, tobacco-y notes. This is a lot more tropical than my kind of go-to fragrance would be, but I really am falling in love with this house. There is going to be a second fragrance from this house in this top 10, and the performance and the bottles, it's just absolutely top notch. You know, when you look at this scent profile, the list of notes, this fragrance is completely different to anything else in this top 10. Chamomile, mango, orange blossom in the top, coconut, ylang ylang, amber in the middle. Amber, yes, that is a typical note that I go for, but coconut, mango, fruity notes, just really not at all. Even that chamomile note, that's not, I don't think I have another fragrance that has a chamomile note in it in my entire collection. So this is definitely a little outside the box. This is a blind buy for me based off Demi Rawlings raving about it, and I was not disappointed. The mango is stunning. That hint of coconut that comes through, this is like your summer tropical scent without it having to be, you know, a fresh fragrance, without it having to be an aquatic. It's so like summer holiday, but not in a way that you just smell like suntan lotion. It's a tropical environment, but with like some mystery and some spice. Oh, it's absolutely stunning, very unique, amazing performance. It doesn't have like beast mode filler room sillage, but incredible longevity. Again, it's that little scent bubble, that little waft, something really wearable, but a little special at the same time. Next up, potentially my favorite fragrance of all time. This is Initio's Oud for Greatness. If I had to pick a signature scent, I think this would be it. I mean, the bottle is stunning. This fragrance, I will never get used to smelling it. Whenever I haven't worn this for a few days because I've had a couple of new fragrances, and oh my goodness, just smelling it now, it literally makes my heart sing. Like, I smell this fragrance and I'm like, oh, why would I ever wear anything else? You know, it just gives me everything I want and more. The performance of this fragrance is the best of the best. It doesn't get better than this. You know, everyone can smell it without it being, you know, it's choking you. It's wafts, you know, everyone's going to get a waft of it as you walk past. If you sit close to someone, they're going to get a waft of it without it being like shoved down their throat. The longevity is utterly incredible. I didn't think I was an oud girl until I met Oud for Greatness. It's the most stunning, smooth, beautiful, wearable oud that I have ever encountered or known to exist. It's so stunning. Saffron and nutmeg in the opening. It's got such a warm spiciness to it and such a sort of rich vibe about it. I feel like it's so unique and special, but wearable. And yet you're going, if anyone smells you and they're not super into fragrance, they're going to think, I've never smelled anything like it in my life. They're going to want to know what you're wearing. What is that? Because they'll never have smelled anything like it, but it is addictive. It's so flipping beautiful, woodsy, musky, warm, spicy, cozy, oudy, all together in one glorious, lovely, delectable little bottle. Can't go wrong with Oud for Greatness. Stunning. Very, very unisex as well. Some of the fragrances I would say are quite feminine that I've discussed so far. Can't Stop Loving You, the Armani, you know, some quite typically feminine leaning fragrances. I feel like Initio's Oud for Greatness is unisex, maybe even leaning more masculine. Anybody can wear that. Next up, we have Matiere's Crystal Saffron. What a stunningly simple bottle. Now, you may have noticed, if you know the scent profiles of some of these fragrances, I'm a saffron girl, okay? Saffron, I think it was when I first encountered Baccarat Rouge that I realised I was a saffron girl. I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was in that fragrance that was like just calling my name and speaking to me, speaking to my heart and soul. And as I started really learning about fragrance and notes and looking at the fragrances that I had that I was drawn to, that I liked, they had one thing in common, and that's saffron. Almost every fragrance that I love and am drawn to has saffron in it. Many, many of them do, at least. So that made me seek out a saffron fragrance. I wanted to find like a saffron heavy fragrance. And so, of course, this one came up in my little search for the perfect saffron fragrance. And I mean, if you don't like saffron, don't even think about it, because this is basically pure saffron. It's, you know, got a similar vibe to Baccarat Rouge, because that, you know, has a heavy saffron note in it, but fresher, lighter, and without the sweetness. Oh my goodness. Like I said, if you don't like saffron, don't even think about it. Why would you? If you like saffron, I don't think you will find a better saffron fragrance. It's stunning. I live for it. It's just the most perfect, fresh, clean, glorious, light, saffrony scent. Again, the performance is incredible. I wouldn't love it if it wasn't. It's a beautiful, fresh, airy waft past everybody that you encounter, and longevity for days. This is like my clean girl scent. If I'm feeling like I want to be clean girl friendly, I want to look like I woke up smelling like this, but she's glorious, she's a Victoria's Secret model, this kind of, that's what it gives me. It's also a perfect layering scent, as it's like so kind of linearly saffron. It's perfect if I just want to give, you know, myself a hint of saffron and then wear something woodsier or sweeter. Perfect layering scent. Next up, we have Silky Woods from Goldfield and Banks. Again, I just love the beautiful simplicity of this bottle. This is definitely, I would say, the woodsiest of my top 10. It's the perfect description of this perfume is the name. Silky Woods says it all. Like, if you're looking for a 2-word review of this perfume, Silky Woods is it. That's exactly what it is. It's obviously, as the name would suggest, a very woodsy fragrance. It's very warm, spicy. It's definitely got that little kick from the oud. It has saffron, you know, it has tobacco leaf in the base with some vanilla. So it's just sweet enough to take the edge off some of those harder, harsher notes, like the oud, like the tobacco. The suede really smooths this scent out. It is literally a silky, smooth, woodsy scent, but it's so light. And I don't mean that as in you can't smell it, but it's really so woodsy yet so light in and smooth in the way that it performs. It's just a beautiful, very, very wearable, light, woodsy, smooth, silky scent. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, can't stop smelling it. Again, another perfect layering scent. If I'm wearing something like the Mango Kiss or maybe even the Crystal Saffron, I just want to give something a little bit more body, a little bit of a woodsiness to it. I will layer with this because it just is going to give any fragrance a bit of woodsy musky without the fragrance becoming that. It's just a perfect, you know, something with a fresh fragrance, a more aquatic fragrance, and Silky Woods. It's just going to take on a richer woodsy vibe, which is perfect. It's not going to overpower, it's not going to offend anybody. It's office friendly, which a lot of the time, woodsy fragrances with tobacco in it, how often can you wear those in summer? Can you wear those in an office? This one, perfect for those occasions where you want something woodsy and rich and with a little kick of oud or tobacco, but you don't want to be overpowering, you don't want it to be too cloying, you are in a small, close confines environment. It's like the lightest, easiest on the nose woodsy scent that I own or have tried. 2 to go, one of like the fragrances that kind of started my obsession with niche fragrance, and it's Initio's Side Effect, and this just started my love affair with many different things. Niche fragrances, Initio as a house and boozy tobacco scents. Oh my goodness, it's so smooth and cozy and welcoming. It's the ultimate warm spicy scent. There's no question what the notes are. There's no question the style or the type of fragrance. It's a warm, cozy night in by the fire. It's so boozy, but in a very smooth way. It's not harsh, it's not overpowering. It's perfectly unisex. Again, straight down the middle. you know, anyone can wear this. If you like a warm, spicy, boozy fragrance, you cannot go wrong. It's cozy, it's warming, feels like you've just had, you know, a rum or a brandy by the fire, and you've got that little warm feeling in your chest with a nice blanket and, you know, something really romantic on the television. It's so smooth, cozy, creamy with that rum and the tobacco, but you can't quite make out the tobacco. It's there, and if you really think about it and really take it in, you can smell the tobacco. But when you just wear this fragrance, you know, you spray it, you wear it, you just don't really think, oh, it's a tobacco fragrance. It's just a warm, creamy, spicy cuddle with a booziness in the background. So beautiful, so perfectly blended. Longevity for days, but a closer scent bubble. So not a room filler, definitely a sort of evening, cooler weather fragrance, I would say, because it does have, you know, that creamy sweetness in there and that heaviness to the scent that if, you know, you were in an office and it was hot, everyone would be like trying to breathe and not succeeding. And lastly, but by no means leastly, again from Stephane Humbert Lucas, we have God of Fire. I mean, again, the bottles from this house, you just cannot fault them. Absolutely stunning. This is definitely the most out of the box fragrance for me and like my typical style of scent, because it's just much fruitier than any fragrance I would typically go for. I just usually would never consider or be drawn to a fruity fragrance. It's just not what I typically go for whatsoever. Again, this is a Demi Rawlings recommendation. Again, this is a blind buy, and it knocked my flipping socks off. When I first smelt this, I was like, yes, you know when you blind buy a perfume and you have no idea what's going to happen, and you get that first whiff of it and you're like, yes, straight away, yes, this is a successful blind buy. It's so fruity in the opening, so fruity. It's literally like you're walking past the tropical fruit cake section of a bakery. I don't know if many bakeries have a tropical fruit section, but if they did, oh, this is what it smells like. It's so gorgeous. It's edible, but because it's fruity as opposed to sugary sweet, you know, it's not, the sweetness isn't coming from caramel or sugar or vanilla. It's coming from the fruitiness and some amber. Oh my goodness, some muskiness in that dry down, a little bit of oud in the dry down as well. It's doesn't smell, you don't smell like a confection, you don't smell like a cake. You literally smell like natural sweetness and just tropical scent. It again, you could be walking through a tropical rainforest with incredible juicy fruits growing all around you while it's raining. That's what I'm envisioning right now. Oh, she's so special. So special. Again, it's one where people are going to ask you, what perfume do you have on? Because it's unique and special. It stands out, but in such a crowd-pleasing, wearable way, but with a little bit of uniqueness in there. The oud in the base and the musk and the amber kind of really brings it home for me and makes it feel like a fragrance I can get on board with that suits me and my preferences. But the fruit in the top, it just made it something different for me. You know, at this point in my collection, I have a lot of fragrances that are boozy, tobacco-y, warm, spicy scents, because that's what I'm typically drawn to. So these days I feel like I only want to buy new fragrances if they offer me something different that I still love and I'm going to really enjoy and get a lot of joy out of, but they're not just going to smell pretty much the same as everything I already own. And this was it for me. It was a big step outside of my usual comfort zone, the usual box that I sit in, but oh, what a little step outside my box it was. Delightful. Okay, so there you have it. That is my current top 10 fragrances, perfumes. As you can tell, I'm a big niche fragrance lover. I've come a long way the last few years really looking into what scents and notes that I love, and I've really found so many beautiful, wonderful fragrances that really stoke my fire, stir my loins, tickle my pickle, get my blood pumping. And these are the best of the best, all absolute incredible performers. You know, I don't mess around with these little weak fairies. You just won't smell them on me, okay? I need the beast mode performance, and these all bring it in slightly differing ways and differing levels for different occasions, but they all have performance off the scale, off the chart. Amazing. So there you have it. Please let me know what your #1 fragrance is in the comment section down below. Are you a niche fragrance girl? Do you prefer designer fragrances? Do you own any of these? Are any of these in your favorites? I know a lot of you always tell me that you hate Baccarat Rouge. That is very much a divisive fragrance. So I'm intrigued and interested to see what you guys think of the rest of these fragrances if you've tried them. What's on your list to buy next, on your fragrance list to buy next? I am waiting for Nichoné's Arni X to arrive in the UK, and that's going to be my next fragrance purchase. Please let me know yours in the comment section down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.